Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria to News Express on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. The Minister of the Federal Capital Authority, Mr. Yusuf Wike, has assured the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, of FCT administration support to curb insecurity in the nation. Wike will pledge when the Chief of Defense Staff visited Nigerian military to keep Niger safe. He assured Musa of FCT's support in whatever form to improve the security situation in the country and maintain the territorial integrity of the nation. The minister also stated that they are trying to build an FCT Rapid Response Center that will be managed by the joint team of the military, the police, Department of State Services, and the Nigeria Security Civil Defense Corps. The minister said that the center will be equipped with every form of technology to strengthen the fight against insecurity. 1 week after the authorities of Nigeria Customs Service opened the Ilela land border between Nigeria and Niger Republic, the government of Niger Republic on Friday opened its border in Koni for operations. A source, Nuhu Stamilia from Koni in Niger Republic, said that the border was declared open at exactly 12 p.m. on Friday. He commended the decision of the leadership of the country, the military junta, for giving a listening hearing to the yearnings of the people by ensuring the border is open. Federal government has demanded that the federal civil servant on study leave show evidence of approval obtained from the office of the head of civil service of the Federation. This is as the head of civil service of the Federation, Falashode Yemi San, noted that the federal government has now put in place a mechanism for routine verification of workers in the service in order to ascertain their true location. This was made known in a memo addressed to all permanent secretaries in Abuja. The federal government had in August 2021 raised the alarm over civil servants applying for study leave with admission letters obtained from suspicious foreign universities. Governor Hope Uzodimma of Imo State has approved the appointment of his brother Ferdinand Uzodimma as his Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of General Services. The governor also reappointed Cosmos Iwu as the Secretary to the State Government, Nnamdi Aye as his Chief of Staff, and Cindy Abo as the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of operations. The three officials served in the same capacities in Uzodimma's first 4 years as governor. Also appointed Patrick Eke as the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of administration, and Sam Wabasi named as Special Advisor on Program and Policy Implementation and Monitoring. The Defense Headquarters on Friday said it has declared 97 persons wanted for terrorism, violent extremism, and secessionist threat against the state. Major General Edward Buba, Director of Defense Media Operations, confirmed the names and pictures of the people declared wanted in Abuja on Friday night. The wanted persons, terrorist bandits, and insurgents commanders are from the northeast, northwest, north central, and southeast zones. In the northeast, flanked by Boko Haram and the Islamic State for West Africa Province terrorists, 33 persons were declared wanted. The gathering of citizens and advocates for equity and national development with the sole aim of conveying government policies and programs to the citizenry and relating the concerns of citizenry to the government in return. In this line with their position for equity and national development, the body led by Chibuzo Agwevi commended President Bola Tinubu-led government for the embargo on foreign trips by government officials so as to cut down the cost of governance and portray the government as leading by example. These remarks was made during a press briefing in the nation's capital, Abuja. Global television correspondent Anthony Mamadou reports.
The Citizens for Equity and National Development, through the executive member Jerome Azuboko, has called on the nation's leadership and legislature to lead by example amidst the sufferings of Nigerians are going through.
It is the emphatic embargo on foreign trips by public officials recently announced by Mr. President. We do know that if this thing is reduced to Naira and Kobo and made available to Nigerians, we will appreciate greatly the amount of money the president has saved for the country by that singular order. Of course, it makes sense that when the government tells our people to tighten their belts as a result of reforms that government has unleashed on the people and the country, it makes sense that the government itself should feel the pulse of the people.
Azuboko praised President Tinubu's willingness to look into the recommendations and resolutions of the 2014 confab, which drew Nigerians from different walks of life, as it will serve as a remedy to some of the country's challenges.
We understand that that confab was well intended and had in attendance representation for all the segments of the country. Most importantly, it was said that time that all the positions they arrived at was through consensus, in spite of the rancorous beginning of that confab. And Nigerians have been hoping since that time that implementation of the contents of that report will go a long way to help Nigerians to solve some of the problems, especially the problems that border on suspicion occasioned by our fidelity to tribe and religion.
The civil society body chieftain expressed concerns with the scandal surrounding the 2024 budget and the dire need of the legislature to clear its name by coming out clean.
Even though the Senate has come out through the Senate Committee Chairman on Appropriation to say that this is the way they do it, that this 3.7 trillion is actually captured in the budget, but that they are not tied to specific projects because this is the way they have always done it. We urge them as representatives of the people to always try to be creative and inventive. The mere fact that our great-grandfathers did it this way, Zik and Awolowo did this way, Shagari and Co did it this way, does not mean that in the 21st century, our representatives will be telling us that there are contents of the budget that will not be specifically tied to projects.
There is no gainsaying the dire need for every citizen to support the government of the day to achieve a better society and nation. Anthony Momodu, reporting for Global Television News.
The National Association of Nigerian Students in Benin Republic has assured Nigerian students in the West African country of a speedy completion of the investigative process into the activities of degree mills, which has led to suspension of degree certificate from Benin Republic, Togo, and some other countries. The body, in a statement by its president, Kenna Favor, also urged the students not to pay attention to purveyors of fake news, while stressing the fact that the degrees obtained from universities in the country are valid and legal. The Federal Ministry of Education had announced the suspension of degree certificate from some African countries following an investigative report by a Daily Nigerian reporter, Omar Odo. The Nigerian Customs Service on Friday announced that the federal government has approved the suspension of 25% penalty previously imposed in addition to import duty on improperly imported vehicles. In a statement signed by the NCA's national spokesman, Abdullahi Mawida, the service revealed that the Honorable Minister and Coordinating Minister of the Economy have approved the suspension of the 25% penalty previously imposed in addition to imported duty on improperly imported vehicles. Now, the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Daniel Akomboa, has constituted a 7-man panel to investigate the allegations leveled against the State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, by the State House of Assembly. This is a part of the processes initiated by the Assembly to impeach the Deputy Governor, and according to the statement, the panel is headed by retired Justice S.L. Noah and the Honorable Chief Judge of Edo State, Honorable Justice D.I. Akomboa, has constituted the panel. The Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has cautioned media organizations against fake news and misleading reports ahead of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. Yakubu gave the caution in Abuja during a consultative meeting with the media. He urged the media and the public to scrutinize the biodata and credentials of the candidates when published as provided by law. Michael Edikan.
The INEC chairman urged media organizations to engage with political parties as well as their aspirants on a report on the primaries with the same diligence and depth they report the main elections conducted by INEC. INEC board further assures that the commission will continue to collaborate with the media on the activities of the electoral body.
Important reality in today's age of information technology is the spread of fake news and misinformation instantly and on a global scale. As I said on many occasions, INEC does not believe in censorship. The best antidote to fake news is greater openness and transparency. It is in furtherance of this policy that the Commission interfaces regularly with stakeholders through our regular consultative meetings. We appreciate our partnership with the media, and I want to reassure you that INEC will continue to work very closely indeed with you.
In a remark, the President of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Chris Izioguso, says the media will continue to uphold the sanctity of the ballot and safeguard the democratic aspiration of the citizens. He promised that the NUJ will continue to support INEC through accurate reportage of its activities to assist the electorate in making informed decisions.
Together, we must uphold the sanctity of the ballot box and safeguard democratic aspirations of our nation. It is hoped that our collective efforts would pave the way for a brighter, more prosperous future for all Nigerians.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says it will publish the personal particulars of the candidate in Form AC9 for the Edo State governorship election on the 31st of this month as required by law. For the Ondo governorship election scheduled for 16th of November 2024, Professor Yakubu said political parties are expected to commence the conduct of primaries in the next 2 weeks. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control said it busted a fake bottle water syndicate on the pipeline road axis of the Nneka Inobi local government area of Rivers State. The agency said that the discovery followed a tip-off from some well-meaning members of the public, which the officials speedily acted on. NAFDAC Public Relations Officer South Zone Cyril Lumoye, or discloses in a statement in Port Harcourt, says that the suspects were using a descript shop camouflage as a pool house for their production. Moye said one of the distributors of the fake bottled water was arrested after packing the products and loading them for sale to unsuspecting consumers. You are watching News Express coming to live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and others shown on your screen. When News Express returns, Tinubu Airport may not get $3.2 million Army aviation anger. These and other stories coming right after this break. So stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Express. Many thanks for staying with us. The federal government on Saturday has expressed sympathy with the Russian Federation over the tragic attack in Moscow. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugay, in a statement, commiserated with the Russian Federation over the tragic attack said to have killed 60 people at a concert in Moscow. According to the minister, we convey our deepest condolences to the people and government of the Russian Federation on the tragic attack carried out at the Crocus Concert Hall in Moscow. We also pray for the quick recovery of those injured at this challenging time. We stand in brotherhood with the government and the Russian Federation. The United Nations Security Council is expected to vote as soon as on Friday on the United States drafted resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza as the European Union called for a humanitarian pause, adding to the pressure on Israel to end its 5-month-long bombardment of the Palestinian territory. Washington's Israel's staunchest ally has been gradually hardening its tone following its early solid support for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin and his war in Gaza. The latest draft resolutions marks a further thawing of Washington's approach amid rising global condemnation of a war in which some 32,000 Palestinians have been killed. The United Nations experts have also warned of an imminent famine as a result of Israel's blockade. Increasing global water scarcity is fueling more conflicts and contributing to instability. The United Nations warns in a new report which says that access to clean water is critical to promoting peace. The UN World Water Development Report 2024 released on Friday said 2.2 billion people worldwide have no access to clean drinking water, and 3.5 billion people lack access to safely managed sanitation. Girls and women are the first victims of the lack of water, said the report published by the UN Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, especially in rural areas where they have the primary responsibility of collecting supplies. Spending several hours a day on fetching water, coupled with lack of safe sanitation, is a contributing factor to girls dropping out of school. The UN agencies have long warned that not only are children and women at grave risks of thirst and starvation, but the lack of clean water also has disrupted medical treatment and hygiene. The State Department said that the United States Embassy has warned its citizens to avoid large gatherings following Friday's terrorist attack in Moscow, Russia's capital. And over fewer than 40 persons have been killed and over 100 injured when gunmen in camouflage clothing opened fire on people at a concert in the Crocus City Hall near Moscow on Friday. It says Russia's FSB security service. And in business, an Army Aviation hangar worth $3.2 million is to be established at the newly renovated Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Airport in Minna. The coordinator, Nigerian Army Aviation, Brigadier General Musa Akali, told Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago during a courtesy call in Minna that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Airport in Minna passed all the checklist for the creation of a hangar and approval of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, as well as the Federal Ministry of Aviation. He said the construction of the hangar, which will be of immense economic benefit to the state, will commence in no distant future, adding that the Minna hangar, when completed, will have 12 attack helicopters series and 8 Magnus light attack aircraft for surveillance, reconnaissance, and patrol, as well as other activities. He further stated that with the creation of the hangar in Minna, the delay associated with maintenance of aircraft will be eliminated, and the airlines with private jets can park them in Minna at a minimum cost. Some weaker, the Minister of Federal Capital Authority has approved the disbursement of 280 million naira in scholarship for the 13,946 underprivileged students across all educational levels in the FCT. The announcement was made by Dalami Ayo, Mandate Secretary of the Education Secretariat for the FCT administration in Gwagwalada, at the event marking the rapid rehabilitation of 19 public schools across the Federal Capital Territory. The ceremony was held at the School of the Gifted in Gwagwalada Area Council within the Federal Capital Territory. And in total fulfillment of his pledge to create a new security architecture to secure mining sites, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dela Alake, has charged the 2,220-strong mines marshal TAC Ayaki in Kogo to smoke out illegal miners and all those who flout the nation's mining laws. Formally receiving the marshals drawn from the Niger Security and Civil Defense Corps and from the Commandant General Abubakar Hudi, representing the Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubunmi Alake, charged the new operatives to stem theft and all nefarious activities around the nation's mineral resources so that the nation can reap maximum benefit from its God-given resources. Queen Agaba has the details.
It will be recalled that as a result of the efforts of the Presidential Interministerial Committee on Securing Natural Resources, chaired by Dr. Alake, the Minister of Interior, Honorable Olubunmi Ojo, a few weeks ago launched the NSCDC-led Mines Marshal, which represents the first layer of the new security architecture to secure the mining environment. Alake disclosed that talks are on with the Ministry of Police Affairs to boost the marshals with more men, with a command structure spread across the 36 states and the FCT.
Today's event of launching and formally handing over the civil defense structure to engage illegal miners and sanitize our mining environment was also part of what we conceived at the interministerial committee level. I am very, very happy to let the public know that we did say at the onset that we are going to tackle insecurity in this sector. And the first batch of the security apparatus that we are using in this sector is what we are launching here today.
In his remarks, NSCDC Commandant General Abubakar Odi stated that the new Mines Marshal will give verve to the Corps' mandate of protecting national assets and infrastructure in which solid minerals is a major component. Odi revealed that the marshals will liaise with mine inspectorates in states to garner intelligence and take directives from the ministry for effective execution of its mandate.
They call them mining marshals, transport and mining marshals, with an operational code. There's an operational code name called Hayakin Kogo. Hayakin Kogo. All those illegal miners who are hiding, we will smoke them out. The country have realized that we are losing a very huge amount of revenues from the mining industry. And so the squad is here, and this same squad is going to be replicated fact, they are just, by the time we hand over to our brother here, we will now give instruction that to liaise with all the state arm of the solid minerals department, ministry, so that we replicate the same squad, nationwide.
The chairman, House Committee on Solid Minerals, Honorable Jonathan Befwi, who graced the occasion, expressed satisfaction with the new security outfit, noting that with improved security around mining areas, Nigeria's economic fortunes is bound for a forward leap.
I am excited today, Honorable Minister, because today Nigerians can finally sleep with two eyes closed, knowing that with what you have been able to achieve here today, our economic fortunes are going to change in no distant time. One of the greatest challenges we've been having as a nation is the fact that our solid minerals have not only been illegally mined, but more than that, they've been illegally smuggled out without us getting true value for that gift or those gifts that God has given us.
He further reassures the House of Representatives' commitment to support the solid mineral development in achieving its goal. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
And that is it on News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using our Global TV NG and others shown on your screen. I am Edikan Michael. Many thanks for watching. See you again.